Welcome to Dipping Milk in Cookies with your hosts Garrett Cookie Smith and Michael Milkman Segovia.
All right, welcome to another episode 21 of Dipping Milk in Cookies. Guys, I'm Garrett Cookie Commander Smith. With me, as always, Michael Master Motherfucking Milker Segovia. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
That's great. I really love the nicknames. It's the best. It's the best.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm all right, man.
That's
Just kind of still battling this little cold that I have. It's not coronavirus, everybody, so don't fucking freak out. But
Even if it was, you'd be all right.
yeah, I'd be fine.
I'm
I
pretty
just ate
sure.
a bunch of hot sauce again last night before bed. So
I'm pretty sure I had the coronavirus there for like a week, but hey, man, marked myself safe from coronavirus. Yeah, so let's jump into some fucking goofiness. Mike just sent me a couple of articles that we could talk about. This first one I have to touch on. Now I'm kind of coming into this a little blind, but this is this article is coming from
which one are you doing?
the chlamydia.
Oh, okay.
Just because it sounds so fucking goofy. Chlamydia related bacteria discovered deep below the Arctic Ocean. What? This comes from phys.org. Chlamydia-related bacteria discovered deep below the Arctic Ocean. Chlamydia are infamous for causing sexually transmitted infections in humans and animals, or even amoeba. An international team of researchers have now discovered diverse populations of abundant chlamydia living in deep Arctic Ocean sediments. That's fucking terrifying. They live under oxygen devoid conditions, high pressure, and without an apparent host organism. So it's almost just like the fucking the shit you were talking about last week.
Lives in the salmon tissue.
Yeah. That's fucking wild. Chlamydia and related bacteria, collectively called chlamydiae, and all studied members of this group depend on interactions with other organisms to survive. Chlamydiae specifically interact with organisms such as animals, plants, and fungi, and including microscopic organisms like amoeba, algae, and plankton. Chlamydiae spend a large part of their lives inside the cells of their hosts, humans, but also of koala bears. That's random. Most knowledge about chlamydia is based on studies of pathogenic lineages in the lab, but do chlamydia also exist in the other environments? Growing in 3 kilometer deep ocean. Dude, that's still just crazy. You would think that the cold would kill that shit. And I mean, not even kill it, but maybe
Slow it down.
Yeah.
That's what's maybe forcing it to evolve to that point where it can withstand those pressures and those temperatures. And I mean, it is really weird too, because if you look at like a lot of those species that are that far down, like they're like clear, like see-through, you know?
Yeah.
And that's because like they don't ever see the light, so the sun doesn't like penetrate their skin and cause damage to their organs, where they have to have like tough skin, like, or like real scales, like to fish up towards the top.
Yeah.
So like this chlamydia stuff, I thought I saw something too here that was saying, but like the hydrothermal vents.
Mm-hmm.
So that there's like shrimps and lobsters, like all the bugs that you don't like that live in the ocean, they live around those kind of places because of like the warmth. And it is really weird because you just look at that kind of environment and you think like, what would even live down here?
What could possibly sustain itself?
Right. And
Like
then-
you could probably pass through there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like to make it your home, that's some freaky shit, man. I don't like that. I don't like that. You don't say that. That's scary. Well, note to self: don't swim in the Arctic Ocean.
at least 3 kilometers down.
Yeah, for sure.
You start going down there, you're probably gonna get the chlamydia.
Yeah, you're gonna get the clap. That's pretty gross. What was the other one you had in here? The space lettuce. That's yeah. Let me fucking pull that up because that sounds really fucking interesting.
Makes you think of what is that movie? Is it The Martian with Matt
Matt
Damon?
Damon, yeah. Matt Damon. Yeah, it makes me think of fucking Trailer Park Boys. They made that cartoon. Or no, it wasn't a cartoon. They did it they did it for real. Where they go to space and Ricky fucking grows a bunch of dope in space, and then it's like the best weed in the world, but they can't smoke any of it because there's no, like, it's a oxygen rich area, so like a flame will blow everything up. So he puts his spacesuit on and just like lights the joint on the inside of the suit and starts smoking it inside the suit, but
That's
then he
great.
can't breathe because all the smoke. So he takes his helmet off and like it immediately just fucks up the entire space station. It's so funny. That's what I think of when I see this. Space grown lettuce is safe to eat, says study. Now this is coming from CNN. This was just posted yesterday, but dig on this. The astronauts floated around expressing delight as they tasted something entirely unexpected in space. Awesome! Tastes good. I like that. It's fresh, they said between bites of the outrageous red romaine lettuce. It was the first time astronauts were able to enjoy the fruits of their labor after growing produce from seeds and harvesting it. Ice cream was possible in space before fresh vegetables, but in space, lettuce actually tastes like lettuce.
Snozberries taste like snozberries.
The same can't be said for creamy delights.
That's what she said.
Bing bong. In the August 2015 video NASA shared of the experience, U.S. astronaut Scott Kelly, Kjell Lindgren, and Japanese astronaut Kimiyai. Not gonna work here anymore. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that name. They appeared Kimiyayu. Yeah, okay. They appear surprised as they munch on the leaves. Research about the lettuce experiment began in 2014, published Friday in the journal Frontiers in Plant Science to herald that space lettuce isn't just tasty, it's also safe to eat. The first experiment happened in May 2014, not long after NASA's first ever vegetable production systems growth chambers were delivered to the space station. The results from that first harvest were frozen and sent back to Kennedy Space Center for analysis. Initial tests showed the lettuce was safe. Since then, a multitude of greens have been grown on the space station, and astronauts have been consuming some of the fruits of their space labor on the station ever since. Researchers analyzed the red romaine lettuce crops from 2014 to 2016 and determined that lettuce grown in space is not only safe for astronauts to eat, it's also free of disease-causing microbes and as nutritious as lettuce grown on Earth. We are delightfully surprised at how much the astronauts enjoyed growing and eating the fresh lettuce, said Christina Kadadad.
Literally, that's the name.
Like, seriously, Khodadad. What the fuck? Study author and researcher at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The ability to grow food in a sustainable system that is safe for crew consumption will become critical as NASA moves toward longer missions. Salad-type leafy greens can be grown and consumed fresh from resources, and consumed fresh with with few resources. Jesus, mushmouth. Astronauts rely on prepackaged meals. They rehydrate in space. Dried fruits, nuts, peanut butter, chicken, beef, and shrimp cocktail are all on the menu, but no salads can be that processed and survive the trip to zero gravity. The processed meal packets are also lacking in some vitamins and nutrients, including potassium and vitamin C, B1, and K, which can degrade over time. Fresh produce seemed like the best answer to that problem, which will need to be addressed as NASA plans for long-term spaceflight missions to the moon and Mars. Astronauts will have to be Earth independent in the future, according to NASA, and this is a step forward in making that possible. But first, NASA had to learn how to grow vegetables in space and make sure that they were safe to eat. That's fucking cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So like now just reading this and like that, we'll post the article obviously to the page. It's a pretty long one. Now that they've proven that they can actually grow vegetative growth. I only imagine it's going to be it's probably happening already right now that they're growing a weed plant up there.
Oh, for sure.
Which is fucking awesome.
There's for sure one already there. They just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
It's just the local tree that everybody comes and picks off, and
Yep.
they go sit in their little space pod and smoke it up.
So yeah, that's fucking wild. That's so wild. Space fucking lettuce. And like I said, it's only going to be a matter of time before you actually get space dope.
Oh, for sure. Space beer.
Whoa.
Brew beer and zero gravity.
Take it easy. That would be fucking wild. Oh, that'd be wild. I can only imagine how that would taste. Because, like, I want to try that beer that's infused with fucking helium. Have you ever seen that? The two fucking German dudes.
I think
they do like a beer review.
I don't remember.
Oh my god, we're gonna have to watch that before you leave because that video is so funny. Because they're two grown ass men doing a beer review. They both drink this beer and then as soon as they put it down, it's not talking. They got the crazy fucking high pitched voice and they start fucking laughing, and the laughing is what makes that video. They do a burp at the end.
That's great.
It's so funny. Oh man. But yeah, space lettuce, crazy. Speaking of space, I don't know why it popped up. I think it's just because I've been listening and doing my own research into the topic. But Area 51, man. Area 51 has always interested me. It's always interested the general population, general public, for as long as it's been around. It's been shrouded in mystery, and the mystique of Area 51 is undeniably attractive. I want to know what's fucking in there. What's going on, dude? And especially after fucking Bob Lazard came out and, spilled the beans and said that I worked there, and I was reverse engineering fucking alien technology. And then, like, you the more you learn about the shit, the more the facts start to, like, add up, where it's just like, what is in there, man? Because, like, there's no fucking way. The one thing, and I'll get to it because I got, like, a timeline of some facts here that I kind of threw together.
Okay.
But the one thing that has got me so convinced that there is alien technology in Area 51 is all through the 20s, through the 30s, through the 40s, we had a very slow progression of technology. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It was like a decade, some big thing would happen, some big technology would, make life easier, but it would take roughly 10 years for something of significant value to pop up. After 1947, after the crash, 1950 to 1960, an explosion of technology that we couldn't even fucking fathom. Like, how does that just show up in the matter of 10 years when we've just shown statistically that it takes roughly a decade for one, like, monumental invention to come out, and now it's happening, like, on a weekly fucking basis. Something else is coming up. Something else.
I don't know. They did invent the atom bomb in the 40s, so...
proven point. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously nuclear technology, that eventually, I feel like eventually that was bound to happen. We were going to figure that out. However, figuring it out and then realizing that you could weaponize it, that I don't think the weaponization of nuclear technology, I don't think that was us. I think that was something that they saw and was just like, oh, wait a minute. If this is what I'm thinking this is, we could do the same thing. Oh, we'd have the biggest fucking stick. We'd have the biggest dick in the room. oh yeah, we need to figure this out. And then yeah, they probably reverse engineered it. That's crazy. But yeah, let's get fucking conspiracy theoried up and dive into this fucking crazy shit that is Area 51.
All right, so are we doing like a good cop, bad cop, or you're gonna talk about something and I'm gonna tell you how I think it could have happened without aliens?
All right, we'll do this. You work at Area 51, okay?
Okay.
But you know that it's classified. It's above your pay grade kind of shit. Like, you have to do everything you can to deny. So I want you to get really, really creative and think of ways that you could play this shit off.
Okay.
So let's start with some quick facts. The U.S. government's official name for Area 51 is the Nevada Test and Training Range, which is a unit of the Nellis Air Force Base. Today, it is used as an open training range for the U.S. Air Force. According to the CIA, the name Area 51 comes from its map designation. It was also previously referred to as Paradise Ranch in order to make the facility sound more attractive to those that would be working there. Paradise Ranch was then shortened to The Ranch. Other nicknames include Watertown and Dreamland. In 1958, under Public Land Order 1662, the 38,400-acre land area was withdrawn from public use as the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission, or by the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission, a predecessor to the U.S. Department of Energy. It's located more than 120 miles northwest of Vegas. It's restricted to the public and has armed guards patrolling the perimeter. Also impossible to enter the airspace above without permission from the AirTC, Air Traffic Control. Area 51 has long been a topic of fascination for conspiracy theorists and paranormal enthusiasts who believe it to be the location where the U.S. government stores and hides alien bodies and UFOs. Not only UFOs and aliens, but like all of our secrets, all of our fucking next edge technology, everything that we obviously don't want anybody to see. That's where it is, in my personal opinion. One popular UFO conspiracy is that in 1947 in Roswell, New Mexico, remains from a flying saucer that supposedly crashed were brought to the site for reverse engineering experiments in order to replicate the extraterrestrial spacecraft. In June 2019, a poll conducted by YouGov found that 54% of U.S. adults think it is likely the government knows more than it's telling us about UFOs. Fucking duh. 27% saying it is unlikely, and 19% saying they do not know. All right, so that just a quick little overview of Area 51. It's a sketchy fucking place. It's a sketchy place. I've watched, just in the last week, I've watched maybe 3 different documentaries on Area 51. If you guys have not watched the Bob Lazar Area 51 documentary on Netflix, fucking watch it. It is fucking crazy. You obviously you got to take it with a grain of salt, because it's just like, this dude could just be full of fucking shit. He's just trying to make money, which I get, but at the same time, it's just like, man, the level of complexity that this motherfucker goes into when he tells his story is mind-boggling, to the point where it's just like, you can't make that up. You cannot make that shit up. And if you do, you are extremely talented, and you're wasting your talent, and you're putting yourself in the crosshairs of the government, where you could have just went to Hollywood and wrote screenplays and made millions.
Or the government wanted him to do that to create a misdirection for something else.
That's very, see. But you're an Area 51 guy. But that's Go ahead and look at this real quick. Pew. But yeah, it's fucking wild. You're very, very true. That's very true. That could very well be. So yeah, let's jump into some of this timeline. All right, April 12th, 1955, CIA officer Richard Bissell, who is overseeing the development of the U-2 plane, first sees the site that would become known as Area 51 while on an aerial scouting mission. Bissell, along with 3 others, including Colonel Osmond Ritlin and Kelly Johnson, director of the Lockheed Corporation Skunk Works, agree that the area would make an ideal site for testing the U-2 training pilots, and request the Atomic Energy Commission add the area to its real estate holdings in Nevada. Excuse me. So, 1955, that's when Area 51 is just starting to become Area 51. Let's see here.
That's when it was shut off from the public?
That's when they were just scouting the location.
Okay.
Yep. I'm going to jump. There's some boring stuff in here. Let me jump. Here we go. Okay, October 13th, 1961. So this is 6 years after they've been eyeing up this land. In a letter to Bissell, now the CIA's Deputy Director of Plans, by CIA Inspector General Lyman Kirkpatrick, writes that Area 51 appears to be extremely vulnerable in its present security provisions against unauthorized observation. So this means we need guns. We need guys on posts with guns at all times, keeping a perimeter around this place, because we're gonna be having some pretty sketchy stuff here. We can't have anybody that's not on the fucking list here.
If you're not on the pay grade, you don't need to know.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. In 1974, Skylab astronauts inadvertently take photographs of Area 51. So again, this is almost 20 years after the inception. The images are reviewed by the National Photographic Interpretation Center, NPIC, and then removed from the rolls of film and stored in a restrictive vault. And to this day, like, you can go on Google Maps and you can look up Area 51, or it won't show up as Area 51, but if you search Groom Lake, when you actually zoom in on it, there's black spots. They've literally redacted the pictures and they just put black spots, black cubes over it. It's fucking crazy. Where was I here? Yep. Okay. So August 26, 1976, in a memo from the Deputy Director of Central Intelligence, E.H. Canuck Noche, it's Noche, to General David Jones, the Air Force Chief of Staff, the National Security Council's Committee on Foreign Intelligence approves a recommendation that management of Area 51 be transferred from CIA to Air Force by fiscal year 1978. So that moment right there essentially is saying the Air Force needs, they want to be in charge, because I feel like a lot of the shit that they were dealing with, because they were building next level planes like on the fucking regular Blackbird, the U-2 is the first one. I'm sure that they have the names of some of these. Yeah, the U-2, the high altitude U-2 reconnaissance plane. Let's see.
Well, I think a lot of that might have to do with
A-12, the F-117 stealth, all of that shit. Again, it's aviation. It's all aviation. So that's why the Air Force was just like, all right, we'll take it from here. So in May 13th, 1989. Now this is the big thing. KLAS, CBS affiliate in Las Vegas, a reporter named George Knapp interviews Bob Lazar, who exposes details about Area 51. Lazar claims to be working with physicists trying to back engineer a downed alien spacecraft. The interview generates public interest in the base. So that was the spark that really lit the fire under the government's ass, and that's when people really started to ask questions. Now, you're Bob Lazar. I mean, but you're not telling your secrets. So, like, you work at Area 51, yeah? No. Where do you work?
I don't.
Maybe we should actually reverse this. Maybe let me be the guy and you can ask the questions.
Well, what was your question? You didn't start really giving me a question.
Yeah, because you're just gonna be really vague.
No, I won't.
Listen to your fucking deep throat over here, fucking cloak and dagger. So you don't work at Area 51. Have you ever heard of Area 51?
No.
Well, I mean, Area 51, it's no secret. It's out in the desert in Las Vegas. It's a big military installation, totally like shut off to everybody. Like, we have reason to believe that you actually work there, so that's why, like, I mean, we're just kind of curious as to what's going on out there, you know?
Just practice stuff, military stuff,
Yeah.
airplane stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna try to like weave the timeline facts in with my mock interrogation.
All right.
So the U.S. Air Force issues a report stating that the wreckage recovered in Roswell in July 1947, often referred to as the Roswell incident, consisted of a smashed part of a balloon. It's consisted of a smashed part of the balloon, sensors and radar reflectors from a classified government project called Project Mogul. What's that all about?
Weather stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a weather
it's
balloon.
pretty blatantly obvious though that the stuff that was recovered wasn't part of a balloon. So
Were you there?
No, but I've seen all the photos, and I mean, sure,
The photos. You
some.
weren't there. It's photos.
Well, yeah. I mean, what's
Come on, man.
what's I mean, what's wrong with a photo? That's a very, very
Photos can be doctored.
yeah.
You can stage some shit and
Yeah.
fabricate.
Okay. All right. Well, U.S. President Bill Clinton signed a presidential determination exempting the Air Force's operating location near Groom Lake, Nevada, from any federal, state, interstate, or local hazardous or solid waste laws that might require disclosure of classified information concerning that location to unauthorized persons. Not really sure what that means.
Oh, that's a good question, though, bud.
Yeah. Fuck off.
I think that was pretty much just saying that. I mean, obviously, I'm not trying to change character now, but I think the what that was referring to is that area has like nobody has a jurisdiction over them besides them.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
the feds can't just go in there and try to do anything
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the
No,
government
yeah.
there, they'll just kill them all and throw them in the fucking pit.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Who's next?
Yeah. That's another theory too. Is that Area 51 is supposed to be like the Hive
I
from
think
Resident Evil.
I think
It's
that's
supposed
really
to-
what it is.
It goes
though.
down. It goes down, dude. It's crazy. I was watching one just the other day. They're saying that all of the Air Force bases on like basically spanning the entire country are all connected by like tunnels,
I don't know about that.
dude.
Where'd you hear that? That's a lot.
But that's the thing though. It's just like once Truman, basically once World War II ended and the Cold War started, Truman got super fucking paranoid, and that was all when Area 51 started to come around. So they're saying like they dug down not only like fucking 20 stories, but then they built these huge fucking tunnels that you could literally get airplanes through. Like you could put two 747s next to each other, wing to wing, and still have like 6 to 7 feet on each side of the wings. And they said that they had these tunnels that went from Vegas to California to fucking to like Texas. They were all like just basically the desert area. That's where like the main tunnels are. But they said that that you could go if you were like if there was some big fucking emergency or some shit, you could get on a train because they had trains that went down there too. You go from a train or you get on the train, you go from one side of the country to the other like pretty fucking quick because it's an uninterrupted straight shot, and they use like maglev fucking like Tokyo speed trains. When I saw that, I was like, it did seem pretty far fetched, but at the same time, like, I would not put it past us because, like, dude, look at fucking NORAD. NORAD's in a mountain. It's in
Right.
a mountain. So like, we already have shown that we're into like subterranean, fortresses. So like, I wouldn't doubt it, dude. I really wouldn't.
I mean, yeah, that just seems like a lot. Like,
Yeah, it really is for sure.
the size of those tunnels, that just seems like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of people at the time, it would take still so long to do because, dude, that's huge.
Yeah.
And especially back then with that technology that they had, unless, yeah, they are using some. Okay. So I want to say you told me about a book. It was called the translation of the Dead Sea Scrolls?
Mm-hmm.
And didn't you say something about there was a part in there? What was it down by like the Aztecs or the Mayans? How there's like a perfectly round tunnel that for the primitive technology they had, they couldn't have made it that perfectly smooth where it looked like it was like lasered out or something. Where it was just
Physically
perfect,
impossible to do at the time.
So yeah, I mean, if Roswell produced something that was a technology that's beyond what we had, okay, do you believe in the story of Atlantis?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
That's what that book was about. The translation of Dead Sea Scrolls.
so with
Great book, by the way.
those people, that place just like vanishing. What if that is just the aliens? Maybe they are just floating around in the sky, but their city's just cloaked, or they're in the ocean still and it's just cloaked. We can't see them, and they come out every once in a while, and that's what these UFOs are. It's actually just the Atlanteans.
Well, yeah, the big thing that I took from that book was like theoretically the lost city of Atlantis is somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. Due to the ocean rising, which happened in some sort of cataclysmic kind of way. I think what really happened was there was an earthquake at sea, and it just completely crumbled the city, and it just fell into the sea. But what happened was the inhabitants split in two factions, one going east, one going west. So like, what are like, and I always ask, what are the two man-made objects you can see from outer space?
The Great Wall of China, and then the
pyramids.
Yeah.
Exactly. Pyramids and the Great Wall of China. Obviously, Great Wall of China, that has nothing to do with my point, but it's a man-made object you can see from space. But the pyramids, those are what you can see from outer space. So, like, if you look at, obviously, the Egyptians in Africa, northern Africa, and then you look at all the Aztecs and the Mayans in South America, again, two factions, both building pyramids. Yeah, they're a little different, but, like, they both took time to make huge fucking cities with these pyramids. And oh, Jesus Christ. In that book, the theory is that when the aliens come back, they'll know exactly where to go find their people, because they were the ones that showed them how to become like an actual civilization at Atlantis. So that's what that book's kind of about, and that's the theory. And it's a really good fucking read too. I should read that again, actually. I should try to find that.
It always kind of made me think too, like, how did cave people have their kids? Like, it's hard enough as it is with today's technology to have babies and take care of them without them dying.
Yeah.
And then to be living in the primitive time like that, like, how?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
how do you even figure out that you're
what do you-
capable of doing that?
You don't even know what you're doing.
Yeah,
Like,
your belly starts getting big all of a sudden, and you feel something kick you, and it's just like,
yeah, right. Yeah, you feel the baby kick you and you punch it back. Like, you don't know what the fuck's going on.
yeah, that's a good question. That is weird. That is weird to think about. But then again, it's procreation it's hardwired into our brains. So like,
Well, now it is, but
well, no. Even back then, that's how we got here, because people figured out, what's this thing?
well, yeah, but I mean, it still doesn't mean like they figured out how to take care of themselves.
No, that's true, and that's what thousands of years of evolution will do, bud.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, it's not like cavemen were here just yesterday.
Well, no, but it's like, okay, if it starts off with just Adam and Eve, okay, like you have a baby and it gets sick and it dies, like you keep trying until eventually one will actually stay. Because, like, dude, a fucking spider bite just comes and bites your baby's dead.
Yeah.
Like, those times you don't know.
Yeah.
So what really is going on?
Yeah.
We're pod people, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're just getting dropped off here by the alien storks.
I saw a post, a meme, or is this like, what if we're actually all from Mars and we fucked Mars up and there wasn't any water left or some shit? Yeah, then the aliens just dropped us off in Earth and just left us here. It's like FBI, just like delete that shit right now. Oh,
Yeah.
that's funny.
All right, so back to the
Actually, yeah, before we do that, let us dive into today's sponsor with a mid-roll read. Support for Dipping Milk and Cookies comes from Angry Beard Boards. Who doesn't love playing a good old game of cornhole? I know the Cookie Commander and Master Milker do, that's for sure. Bags is absolutely an American tailgating pastime that goes good with just about anything. Sporting events, cookouts, parties of any kind. If you got some sun and some friends over, then it's time to grab the boards. And where better to get those boards than from Angry Beard Boards. Quality, handmade cornhole boards and bags made to order. I've seen some of these custom bad boys, and let me tell you, they are quality boards. Custom regulation size, tailgating size, and kid sizes available. All wood, hand-painted or stained, with many options available upon request. Right now, when our listeners use the code DMC at checkout, you will receive $20 off the set. That's a pretty sweet deal if you ask me. Spring, it's right around the corner, so don't wait. Act now. Again, when our listeners use the code DMC at checkout, you will receive $20 off of the set. So be sure to swing by their Facebook page for more information or call 414-881-4520. Again, that number is 414-881-4520. Angry Beard Boards, where the cornholing gets mean. And we're back. Okay. So yeah, jumping back into this this crazy ass timeline. Where did I leave off? 74. Yeah, they took the pictures. 76, 89. Did that. Okay, January 30th. Nope, I read that too. Here we go. Okay, March 6th. 1996, a citizen suit between former employees at Area 51 and the Department of Defense is filed. The plaintiffs, former employees, allege violations of Resource Conservation and Recovery Act in the storage, treatment, and disposal of hazardous waste at the operating location near Groom Lake. Now, this is what's really fucked up. They obviously didn't want anybody to know what was going on at Area 51, because obviously when you throw something out, as soon as that shit hits the street, so to speak, it's public property, then somebody can go through it and rifle through that shit.
Yeah.
So what they did, just like you said, they actually had pits. They had burning pits adjacent to the facility, and they would throw everything into this fucking pit, and they would soak it in jet fuel, and they'd burn it. But the fumes from these fucking huge fires was being like sucked into the ventilation of the fucking facility. So then a bunch of these people that worked there got super sick, got super duper sick. So that's a citizen suit that a bunch of the employees were like, fuck this. We know for a fact it came from Area 51. It's the only time we're ever going to be exposed to some crazy fucking shit. So yeah, pay me, motherfucker.
You want to go in the pit too?
Yeah, right. You trying to fucking die? A citizen's okay, now that was March 6th. This is now July 23rd, same year. A citizen suit between former employees at Area 51 and the EPA is filed. The court determines that the administrator of the EPA completed her statutory duties with regard to the inspection and inventory of the operating location near Groom Lake, which means they lost. Government said, too bad, so sad, move it along.
Come here, I'll show you something.
Right, exactly, right. April 2000, a Russian-built satellite reveals views of Area 51. Now, these pictures, again, like I said, the U.S. government has done any and everything they can to keep the aerial shots of Area 51 completely blacked out. You just don't need to know it's over here. And to this day, Area 51, like it said, some of the most fiercely guarded airspace anywhere on the planet.
Yeah, man, I remember fucking GTA trying to fly into that goddamn place.
Yeah. instant
nope.
jets. That's so funny, dude. I need to fucking play that game again. I think you can get that game on like your phone now or something.
Fuck, I don't even know.
I used to have San Andreas on my phone, so I'm sure you could get that is San Andreas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to have that on my phone, so yeah, I'm actually gonna download it again. I'll get rid of PUBG, put that on there instead. But yeah, there was a video, I forget who it was, but it was like a comic. There was somebody and a comic, and they were doing like an interview in a plane, and they ended up flying by Area 51, and like it was like immediately, and they were still like 2 miles away. But they like came over the radio, just like, yeah, you're gonna have to fucking fuck off. Like for real, dude. You're gonna have to keep a distance of 3.5 miles, blah blah blah. Stay at this altitude, absolutely no photography kind of thing. It's just like, dude, we're nowhere near you right now, and you're
fuck
already.
Did I just say? You're not
I'll
fucking.
Put my hand on your chest. Back up. You fucking lost. September 2003.
Oh my god, that'd be so great to be a pilot and fly up there and some You lost, boy?
Yeah, right. You
Trying to
fucking
get
lose something
fucking-
over here, Hondo. Fucking keep her moving.
man.
Keep her moving. September 2003, U.S. President George W. Bush signs a memorandum to the EPA. The memorandum to the administrator states, I find that it is in the paramount interest of the United States to exempt the United States Air Force's operating location near Groom Lake, Nevada, the subject of litigation, from any applicable requirement for the disclosure to unauthorized persons of classified information concerning that operating location. So again, more of the government saying, fuck off.
Don't worry about what's
Don't
over
worry
here.
about it. Exactly. Don't worry about it.
Over there.
Right. 2005, a Freedom of Information Act requested. A Freedom of Information Act requested is filed by Dr. Jeffrey T. Richelson, a senior fellow at the George Washington University National Security Archive. That is a big one. The FOIA request is for information on the CIA's Lockheed U-2 plane reconnaissance program. Not really a big deal, but that's somebody trying to find out some information about one of their super secret planes that they were building. May 17th, 2011,
He
journalist...
went missing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh, man, he got disappeared.
He gone.
May 17th, 2011, journalist Annie Jacobson's book, Area 51, An Uncensored History of America's Top Secret Military Base, is published. Again, you take that shit with a grain of salt because you don't fucking know. You don't know. You don't know. Like, I don't think, truly, deep down in my heart of hearts, I don't think anybody's ever going to know. Unless you're literally the president. I mean, unless you're like really one of those like military guys. I don't think you'll ever know what really happens. Because like either A, they're going to get disappeared. B, they're just going to be smart and keep their fucking mouth shut. Or C,
They're gonna get disappeared.
They're gonna get fucking disappeared, man. Exactly. Like seriously, that's
Yeah.
why like I couldn't even imagine being smart enough to like potentially work at a place like that. But just could you imagine like getting that phone call or like in that meeting, just like Smith, Segovia, Groom Lake, your new assignment. Groom. That's
Okay.
that's a big one, right? That's a big spot. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna need you to sign all these NDAs and. We're also going to need all of this information, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, dude, just so you know, you can't leave base. Like, you're going to be living there. You'll be living on base. You'll be there for the next 6 months working on top secret classified information or projects where, obviously, if you spill the beans, you'll be charged with treason. Yeah, you'll be charged with treason, if not killed on sight. Okay, so what if I say no? Stevie?
Yep, exactly.
All right.
But that is really impressive, though. I feel like if those, it's like movies and stuff that you see. Like somebody works for like a secret government and they're trying to extract. Well, okay, like almost every Mission Impossible movie. Never mind. All right, go on to the next thing.
Wait a minute, that's Mission Impossible. Oh, never mind. Yeah, never mind. Oh man! All right, 2012, funding for the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, the Pentagon's secret UFO office, ends. The office spent $22 million over 5 years collecting and analyzing what they considered anomalous aerospace threats. Could you imagine like that, like having that conversation? Just open it up. Jesus Christ. Fuck, unbelievable.
This is a cough drop, sorry.
God damn. But just imagine that though, like having that like the oversight kind of like meeting, you know, it's obviously it's a black kind of black bag thing where it's on the books but off the books. Mm-hmm. So like you're that fucking general sitting at that table with the microphone, you got a fucking collection of a row gallery of old people up there asking you fucking questions like, you spent, let me get this straight here, you spent $22 million over 5 years trying to find UFOs. What'd you find?
Nothing.
We ain't found shit.
Next question, please.
Oh man, but just imagine how uncomfortable that must have been. Ugh. But then again, though, it's just like that could have been, you know, an off the books kind of like oversight
Right.
committee where it's just like they could ask, like, so what'd you find? A lot of shit.
Man, we got some shit.
Yeah. All right. August 15th, 2013, the CIA publishes declassified documents which officially acknowledge for the first time that Area 51 is a secret U.S. military site, following the FOIA request filed in 2005. The declassified documents concern the history of the U-2 and the A-12 Oxcart aerial surveillance programs that were constructed and tested at Area 51. The documents claim the site's secret status was a way to keep information from the Soviets rather than to cover up an alien encounter. Both of those are true. Both of those are true, man. Like I said, Area 51 was born after World War II, and it was born in the age of the Cold War. So keeping the information from the Soviets, totally understand that. Absolutely, that makes 100% 100% truth. That makes 100% sense, rather. But the saying, oh, no, it's not a cover-up for alien. Yeah, buddy. Okay. All right. Honestly, in my opinion, I feel like the shit that happened at Roswell really was a weather balloon. It really was. But I think it was what caused it to come down was it was engaged by an actual UFO. That's what I think. That's
okay.
what I think
Yeah.
actually happened. And that's like the opinion of a couple other people who like are really well versed in this shit, and that's what they think happened. Is there was an altercation where the weather balloon was engaged by a UFO, and somebody saw it. Somebody saw that shit happen, and then that's when they freaked out on all the shit that they found, because it was just like, how did this thing get destroyed? How did it just get blown up in the middle of fucking nowhere?
Yeah.
Up in the air, like it didn't hit anything. There's nothing up there.
Just a malfunction, man. It's-
No. That's no malfunction.
Were you there?
Where are your fucking pictures? December 8th, 2013, at the 36th Annual Kennedy Center Honors, U.S. President Barack Obama becomes the first president to use the phrase Area 51 in public. Oh, buddy. While honoring the actress Shirley MacLaine, who has long been vocal about her interest and belief in UFOs and the extraterrestrial. So, yeah, there's some credit to it now. He actually
Really?
uses
No
the
one's
phrase
ever
Area
said
51.
Area 51 before?
What's that? Like, yeah, no, exactly. That's, of course not. Why would they? Because then guess what? I say it.
That was there.
Now it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. April 2nd, 2014, in an appearance on ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live, Clinton jokes that while he was president, he asked aides to investigate what the government knew about UFOs in Area 51. He says, first I had people go look at the records on Area 51 to make sure there was no alien down there. Oh, good one, Mr. President. On March 24th, 2016, Jimmy Kimmel Live, again, presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, says if elected, she would open government files on any unexplained aerial phenomenon barring any threats to national security. So, in other words, you're not going to fucking release anything, you silly bitch. Like, what are you talking about? Bearing any threats to national security. Dude, that information, it would be absolute fucking anarchy. It would just go crazy. People would I don't think people could literally process the fact that like aliens are for real. Everybody's like, dude, I know aliens are real. Dude, come on, think about it. Turn your fucking brain on. Yeah. But I guarantee you, if somebody like the president like slid over the file and was just like, yeah, they're real and they're coming. Your brain,
So it doesn't matter what we do.
right, dude, your brain would melt. And as much as you'd like to think that you'd be prepared for that conversation or the realization, you would still have a fucking breakdown. And it's just whether or not you'd be able to bounce back from that breakdown. But yeah, dude, it would be absolute fucking insanity. Yeah, absolute insanity. So yeah, no, they're never
It would
gonna
cause
fucking
a lot. I don't know.
I don't think they will ever.
I don't think it would be like mass hysteria, but I think it would definitely like shock a lot of people. It would devastate people who are like deathly afraid of aliens, even though like they've never seen an alien, you know. But just the pure thought of them,
Yeah.
and like yeah, it could be anywhere kind of thing. Like, I think it would cause those people to have problems, but like people like me and you, just, I gotta go to work today anyway. So.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. I think the only way we'll ever find out unequivocally that there are aliens is if they invade.
Yeah.
That's the only way. That's the only way, in my opinion. Let's see here. July 11th. Oh, man. The good stuff. More than 1.5 million people say they will attend a Facebook event titled Storm Area 51. They can't stop us all. Pledging to raid Area 51 in a quest to see them aliens.
The government's just they government did say too. They're just like, try me, ho.
Yeah, come at me, bro.
Fucking do it.
We'll
Show up.
Light your ass
Fucking
up like the
throw
fucking,
all of you in the pit.
like the 4th of fucking July.
Talking scorched earth, motherfuckers. Yeah, dude.
Oh, that's so funny. Pledging to raid Area 51 in a quest to see them aliens.
See them,
Quote
aliens.
unquote.
Fucking losers.
The post suggests that people run onto the site on September 20th.
Naruto run.
Yeah, you're right, yeah. September 20th, 2019 at 3 a.m. That's so funny. July 12th, next day, Laura McAndrews, an Air Force spokesperson, says government officials are aware of the Facebook event. She says Area 51 is an open training range for the United States Air Force, and we would discourage anyone from trying to come into that area where we train American armed forces. The U.S. Air Force always stands ready to protect America and its assets. Back up.
And you know what that scene would remind me of is Starship Troopers when they go to the bug planet and they go to the base that's been like overran.
Oh, the one where they get set up.
And then so that's the military, that's Area 51, and then all the bugs that come running in, that'd be the 1.5 million Naruto runners running up there, and then the U.S. government's like,
you want to live forever?
yeah. Yep, there you go. Except they wouldn't need to be escorted out. They would just fucking mow everybody down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, there's no evacuating that. You just fucking... Yeah, that's shooting fish in a barrel. August 9th, 2019, the Alien Stock Festival, a festival celebrating aliens that's set to take place September 19th through the 22nd in Rachel, is announced. We're aiming to establish something unique here, a meeting place for all the believers. Come out to the desert to dive into a world of full of live music, arts, and camping under the stars.
Yeah.
August 20th, 2019, officials in Lincoln County, Nevada vote to pre-sign an emergency declaration in preparation for the influx of visitors. God, that's so crazy. September 10th, September 10th, 2019, organizers cancel Alien Stock, saying critical infrastructure needed was not provided for this festival. Instead, people are encouraged to attend the Area 51 celebration in Las Vegas. Same day, 2 Dutchmen are arrested in Nevada, in the Nevada National Security Site near Area 51. The men told police that they saw the no trespassing signs, but wanted to take a look at the facility. They later pled guilty to trespassing and illegal parking. And I'm sure they got time for that too, I bet. September 20th, 2019, last one on here. Approximately 200 people show up outside the gates of Area 51 for the raid on the facility. 2 people are arrested, according to the Lincoln County Sheriff. There is 1 alcohol-related arrest, and a Canadian citizen is arrested for indecent exposure. 1 woman comes close to crossing and is briefly detained and released at the scene. So, there's... I don't know why those facts I put together, but they're pretty interesting. Area 51, I don't know what it is about Area 51, man. It's just the intrigue of not knowing.
Well, yeah.
You know, like the potential, like what's fucking back there, man. I want to know what's back there. What you got back there,
What's
man?
in the box?
What's in the fucking box, man? What's in the room back there? I want to see. But then again, I don't want to get shot. So I got this thing about death. It's just it's not really me.
Yeah, I mean, it is really fascinating because of all the stories and like all the movies where just how it's portrayed and everything that we've seen. Okay, like National Treasure, like the President's Book, like I'm sure it's got Area 51 in there.
That's one of those. That's actually one of the documentaries I watched. It's like a
President's
hour-long
Book?
thing on Netflix. They got a series called America's Book of Secrets. And one of them was Area 51. You should watch it. I'm telling you, man, there's some good shit out there. Some really thought-provoking content that just like really makes you go, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's fucking wild though. It's wild. It'd be something else to go. It'd be something else to see it.
Yeah.
Can only imagine. Can only fucking imagine.
Yeah, I mean, you could really imagine. You could just like think of anything that could be going on there. They could be like aliens that are just all tied up, like being tested, or the aliens are walking around with the humans and they're all working on this technology, like developing something. You know, maybe we're the aliens' pets for their rival alien race because they have humans too in another dimension, and we're gonna get. It's a race to see who get to space first because we're gonna go find those other humans and we're gonna fucking beat their asses.
Kick the shit out of them.
Fucking bitches. And there's a Dipping Milk and Cookie podcast, but I'm Cookie and you're Milk. You're white and I'm black. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
My head just exploded. That just made my head hurt. Oh my god.
Right. Yeah. See?
The tale of two DMCs.
Oh man.
That's funny. Well, that's fun. I know that's very nonsensical stuff, and again, Area 51, it's shrouded in infamy. It's either you're a believer or you're not. I'm of the opinion that like there is literally no fucking way that in the vast unknown fucking vastness of space we're the only fucking rock with living things on it. No,
not possible.
No, it statistically is impossible. It just the amount of numbers of the space that we know of, like nobody knows how far the shit goes, man. It literally goes on for infinity.
Yep.
Infinite amount of space. That's what we know of.
Yeah.
That's what we know of right now. So like the amount of moons and planets that are in not only our fucking solar system, but like in our galaxy, knowing that there's other fucking galaxies with other solar systems, like there's no way. There's no way. So yes, I am a very firm believer in aliens. They are fucking for real. I'm sure we've come in contact with them before. We will never know it until it's cataclysmic, until they're like, all right, dude, I've asked you for my fucking lawnmower back way too many times. I'm coming to get that shit, and we're taking everything with it. So that's when we'll find out, is when something hits the fan. Which, you know what? Hey man, I like Independence Day. You know? And yeah, sure, it would suck. A lot of people would die, but we kind of need a purge right now anyway, so yeah, just stay away from the big cities, I suppose. Announcements. What? Oh, we are going to have another guest. Was talking to our good buddy Andrew David Weber last night at the show. So we're thinking we're going to get him on here. Hopefully this upcoming week. Actually, yeah, hopefully this upcoming week. Because he's actually going on tour with one of his bands in a week. So yeah, we'll have Andrew David Weber on. That'll be pretty fucking awesome. He's a really good dude. He was showing me some of his new music last night, and it's really fucking good. Really good. And then we're going to have another guest. Whew. We're going to keep that one under wraps until the day of. But we've got a guest that's going to be on in a couple weeks that I'm really excited for. It's a big name in my world. Mike is also very excited. So yeah, that'll happen in a couple weeks. Shows. The band is going to be at the Walker's Point Music Hall on the 14th, which is next Saturday, for Brad Blake's birthday party.
What time do you guys start? Or you said his doors were like 8:30 and shows 9 or something?
Yeah, yep.
When will you play though?
We play third. So it's Apocalyption, Seven Cities Dead, us, and then Product of Hate.
So you play around like 10ish?
Yeah, I guess that'd be safe. Well, I mean, if the show starts at 9, 30 minutes, 45.
Oh, that's how
30,
long those sets are?
45. So yeah, probably closer to like 11.
Oh,
10:30,
okay.
11. But either way, Walker's Point Music Hall, $10 at the door. 4 great bands for a great cause. We all love Brad. Come support him. And then the 27th, we are in Illinois, Lake Villa, Illinois, at I think it's Terminus. Yeah, Terminus with Luciferum, Dead and Buried, and Her Worst Nightmare. So that'll be a good one as well. Really looking forward to seeing Lunsford's new band, Dead and Buried. So that'll be fun. So if you're in the area, come on down, come do some dancing. It'll be a good time. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dipping Milk and Cookies. Go like and share the page, guys. Everybody, the page keeps growing. Those likes keep they keep coming. So it's awesome. Yeah, thank you guys. But yeah, go to the page, like, share, rate, review, subscribe. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Podbean. You can find us on iTunes. Big one, iTunes. Guys, go follow all of our Spotify and iTunes pages and everything like that. Much love. I got nothing else. You got anything, buddy? You wanna throw in there? Oh, Kings and Queens. Guys, go check out Kings and Queens over where the old Alfonso's used to be.
Well, it's still there for now.
Oh, okay.
We're running both out of there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go get some awesome Jamaican food, man. I really do want to get some of that chicken. I keep fucking saying it.
It's good.
Have you had it now?
I've had it all.
Oh, okay. I said that before, and I asked you, and you said you didn't have chicken yet.
Yeah, I've had all of it except the fish and the fried chicken.
Cool. All right. Yeah, that's it. Okay. I love you, buddy.
Love you too, bro.
All right, guys. Be good. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Produced by the Dank